We're in what we call the deeply rural Eastern Cape, and when one looks at a map, there aren't roads to this part of the world on most of the standard maps. So I think that's a fair description of how it is in reality. It's quite a densely populated part of the world, but it's densely populated because historically this was the old Transkei, which was a homeland under the apartheid government. There are a lot of people living here, but there haven't been a lot of services historically to people here, and so infrastructure is poor, health services are largely absent or inaccessible.
Yeah, it's just striking to me how much one can live in South Africa and not know really, or not be aware that people still live like this in our country.
I joined the hospital in 2006, May, as a hospital manager. When I arrived here, there were only 2 doctors, just a couple, Dr. C.P. Gond, who is our chief medical superintendent, and his wife. Nothing else. But up to this date, we have got 7 doctors now. These are all through the efforts which are being made by the health professionals who initiated all this in the hospital, by recruiting people whom they know that at least they are interested to be in this area.
If you get a core group of people who are committed, who all have the same mindset, and you work hard together and you try and make a difference, that can bring momentum and enjoyment and can draw more people in, and that's what we're sort of hoping is to happen.
One person coming here has made it possible for a whole bunch of people to come, and I mean, now it's easy for people to join in because it's not so hard to be here when you're part of a bigger team. It's harder to be here when you're struggling to start something or to make something work on your own.
Sometime in 2007, there were therapists who joined the clinicians in this hospital. As a result, we have got physiotherapists, we have got occupational therapists, we have got radiographer, social worker, and a dietitian for the first time as well.
I think that what we have here is the beginnings of something that is viable long term. And every year we do have challenges, and I think the crucial thing to make it viable is to keep on drawing people here and getting more long-term people here.
You know, the majority of people who are here because they want to make a difference to this community, and I think that's a key aspect, being willing to really muck in together and work together, because it's really in teamwork that you're able to survive the other challenges, the challenges about being remote, the challenges when resources are fewer.
It certainly has been a big challenge to me, and now I'm at the end, I can look back and say, wow, I've learned a heck of a lot this year, and what would probably take maybe 3 or 4 years in the UK of hard graft on a ward to get that feeling of confidence that I have now, I've got that in a year's experience. I feel like I've grown a heck of a lot, and that's just invaluable.
I think people are keen to work in rural medicine and have the experience, even if it's just for a year or so, to get a feeling it is real medicine. It's kind of the kind of medicine that many people go in thinking they'll do, and then they get disillusioned and realize that medicine was never like that. And I think that kind of medicine, that real family community medicine that was practiced in the old days, you can still practice in rural areas like this.
Actually, the place is so good and so wonderful. It is much better than what I expected. I grew up in this town. I started my primary school in this town, and I've made up my mind to come and work here and make a difference to someone.
I think nobody would think of this as wasted time in a professional light. So everybody would be a good person to come here from that point of view, and those people who are nervous about going to a rural place or going to a place where the culture is different or that you don't speak the language, it's a fantastic challenge.
We are desperate for all kinds of professionals. We're particularly desperate for doctors and pharmacists. And long-term doctors would be wonderful. We're desperate for doctors with families to come and stay long-term, because that makes an enormous difference to the sustainability of this dream that we have.
Rural medicine is a very viable option for families nowadays. I think previously the biggest thing that made families leave rural medicine was schooling for their children, and nowadays there is the option of homeschooling, which is very easy and very viable in South Africa.
It's a really great place for kids to grow up. It's a great place for kids to learn, also, you know, get a very different type of perspective on life.
One of the advantages here is that there is good accommodation available. There's water, there's electricity most of the time, and we're really trying to develop a place that is the kind of place you'd be happy to live and work, hopefully for the medium to long term.
The community have been really kind. People know who you are and they know that you're here to help, so people look out for you, and we've had absolutely no problems or feelings of being unsafe, which has been really, really nice.
The Transkei is just beautiful, and I think it's an experience that you probably won't have anywhere else.
You've got lots of nice people around, so there's always something happening. There's a poker evening, or someone's going on the beach, or playing frisbee.
There's always something to do, whether it be going to the beach or swimming or hiking or whatever your cup of tea is, really. If you want rural and beautiful, this is definitely the place to come.
Our real goal is to provide care for people, and that's quality clinical care. We don't want to suggest that being rural is an excuse for being second best, but it's also about seeing people as people and really being able to treat them and their families within their context, and not just processing them as the public health system sometimes tends to do.
You'll never waste a year or two in rural medicine. It will enrich your life, it will enrich your medical experience, it will make you a much better doctor. So those guys who finish in their comm service are saying, oh dear, I don't want to get behind, I need to specialise. I think I would encourage them to say, spend a year or two in rural medicine. It's brilliant. It's a really good way to get perspective on life and on medicine.
You can see that we are moving from the old model towards the modern one, and we want to fulfill the vision of this hospital that one day we want to be the center of excellence, where all the district hospitals in the Eastern Cape can come and benchmark, as we even got the award last year as the best performing district hospital in OR Tambo.